We are now moving into the energy transition other session now. Okay, I will now pass on to Kavinga from Wellington Shire Council, achieving carbon neutrality in an island resort. Put your hands together, please.
Good evening, everybody. It's a really wrong time to give speeches, but I'll try to keep it alive. So I'll be just talking about optimizing diesel efficiencies and reducing emissions in an island resort. So where is this? Any ideas? Like, have anyone been to places like this? This resort island in Maldives, actually. And these places would be hardest hit by the climate change because sea level rise will directly impact these kind of locations. Yes, obviously the best options would be for these kind of places also to go towards renewable energy. But there are some questions because this is an island resort which basically sells their surroundings. So we have to be really careful when you're dealing with the aesthetics. So it's pretty hard to have solar panels and wind farms around this kind of a resort. So it will be definitely destroying the aesthetics. So what I thought was whatever which they're already using diesel generators. So why can't we do, because there's already an issue of in this. It's this. There's a large wastage which happens in diesel generators. About 36% of the total calorific value of diesel being transferred to electricity. So basically, 64% is just wasted as heat and sound. So this, I was being in Maldives as a sustainability specialist back in time. I was thinking about, can't we do something on this? And so that's why I thought of like the whole process. First, I thought of improving the combustion because just 36% is transformed to electricity, and main idea is to maximizing the usage of diesel combustion energy is the main objective in this study. Starting off, a catalytic system will be improving the exposure to oxygen, will be improving the combustion then. So there will be a reduction of the fuel consumption of around 4% to 12%, and there will be about payback of about 4 years. And then the same question Wahid just asked. So with the 64% of the wasted heat, we can work on organic Rankine cycles, heat absorption chillers, and top it off with an heat recovery system. So in my study, basically, you can come up to the optimum levels, but still there can be changes, there can be fluctuations in the energy usage. So if that happens, so that's why I thought better to have a battery backup with a solar PV assistance. So let's talk about the study a little bit further. So in organic Rankine cycle system, obviously because there are lots of heat being wasted, so we can use the same principle and just run a turbine with this wasted heat and get some electricity out of it. And I selected benzene to be the best option as the refrigerator here, because it has a boiling point of 80.06 degrees Celsius and a critical temperature of 288.87 degrees Celsius. And it gives high efficient output at different temperatures at 85, 90, 95, you can see in this graph. So obviously 85 would be the best, as the boiling point is anyway 80.06, so 85 degrees Celsius would be the best temperature that would operate this ORC system. And in my calculations for this particular purpose, I saw that we can obtain a saving of 871,000 kilowatt hours per annum, and payback would be about 4 years. So the next option would be the heat absorption chiller. So heat absorption chiller, anyway, you can just think of in a conventional electric AC unit where the electric motor is. You can just substitute that with a lithium bromide solution system. So this with this affinity towards water of lithium bromide and the different vaporizations, so because of all these principles, the lithium bromide system will be able to run this chiller. So this is what is the basically theory behind the heat absorption chillers. And here also there's a vast saving that you can acquire. More than 1 million kilowatt hours per annum can be saved in this option. And furthermore, so both these ORC as well as the heat absorption chiller would be having heat sinks. So these heat sinks can also can be taken, and as well as there will be a large amount of heat will be anyway coming out from the exhaust gas, and you can use all that heat to drive other processes such as production of hot water for guest rooms, laundry, kitchen, all that can be fulfilled. So as I mentioned, more than 1 million kilowatt hours be saved per annum, and roughly around saving of around 300,000 US dollars and around 4 years of payback. And so as I mentioned to earlier, so these generators, what we had at that resort was 450 kVA, which translates to 360 kilowatts. And the optimum level is to maintain these generators at 80%, which is around then 300 kilowatts. So anyway, the plan is to ensure the maximum utility of the generator while preventing it being damaged by overload. So you have to make sure that it doesn't go to overload. So but you cannot say that even though you do various things, you cannot you sometimes there can be fluctuations. Even though you come to 300, it can go to 330, 340 at different times. So if that happens, if you switching on another generator means, then the load is divided among two generators, so again the efficiency is going to go down. So to make sure that it won't happen, I'll be proposing a battery bank with some solar assistance in these particular sizes. So I did some trial and errors, some modeling to get to these values, what would be the right values that we want. And afterwards, the main points what I saw was this blue line is the normal average load curve in this resort, and my target is to achieve this red line at 300 kilowatts. So with the ORC, you can come down to this particular line, and with the chiller, you can further reduce. And with some solar assistance during the daytime, there's because a little peak during the daytime, and that would be ideal to work things out during that time, so that we can minimize that particular load during the midday time. And further, with the battery backup that we'll be having, we can smoothen up this particular load line. And to talk further, like the main target of this particular study was, because currently it uses 3,323 diesel liters per day, and it can be reduced to 1,760 diesel liters, which is basically a reduction of 47%. And there will be a large amount of carbon emissions will be also reduced. And the best thing is we won't be having any other external power sources. We'll be using the waste heat, and from the waste heat also, just 41% of the wasting heat will be enough to power all these processes that I just mentioned. So of course I would like to open up for questions, as well as I would like to further, if you have any concern, and I would like to share some knowledge and talk further in the future. If anyone would like to do that, please keep in touch. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And so we've got one more opportunity for questions before the end of the day, and I can see the mic moving across.
Hello. I was just looking at your profile, energy profile. Was any consideration given to chilled water, thermal storage, as a mechanism of, as an alternative to a battery storage?
Well, no, actually, because well, if you think about this, like, because this is already a hot climate, and you need to have a large amount of insulation for that to be worked out, as well as there can be complications, I felt. I basically, in this particular study, I was not planning to I wasn't planning to maximize on storage stuff, because, for example, if you can see the battery backup also was to cater that requirement. I just sized it out accordingly, because I want to make it as a kind of workable kind of that it's not depending on the storages as such. So that's what I thought, like, make it a kind of a normal running mechanism there.
Diesel is an inherent risk in an aquatic environment like yours. Any thoughts to going to CNG, compressed natural gas, or anything else to replace the diesel but still get the efficiencies on the other systems?
Well, you have to see at the economic side also, because in Maldives, when I did this study, basically that kind of a amount for, even if you are using liquid natural gas, even you need to have large amounts, and you have to have large storages, and you have to be foolproof and make sure that you might be requiring some other infrastructure for that, if for that to happen. So what I want, the main idea in this study was just to minimize what we're doing, minimize the infrastructure development and use what we have already, and mainly to target about the wasting heat in this particular project.
Let me just, Paul, do we have time for one more, or? Very quick.
So have you considered also Kalina cycle that also operates at low temperature, like organic ranking cycle? Kalina cycle.
No, I basically looked at the ORC, basically.
Okay, so is there any place in Australia, have you found that this organic ranking cycle successfully applied?
I haven't found that.
And in your absorption chiller, have you considered fresh water or recycled water?
Well, in the absorption chiller or the water, the hot water recovery system, you're asking?
No, the absorption chiller.
Absorption chiller basically runs
fresh water or recycled water there?
fresh water. Of course, yeah, we need to make it lesser other impurities as much as possible.
But in the Middle East, they're using recycled water in absorption chiller, cooling tower. That's the thing. Yeah. Sharing with you.
That is okay. Is that better? Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and can you please join me in thanking Kavinya? Now, that wraps up the expert sessions for this afternoon and for end of day one. Thank you to Paul for being co-chair this afternoon, and we welcome you to join the presenters and also the other delegates at the networking session, which is right next door, following this. So enjoy your evening, and we look forward to seeing everyone tomorrow as well. Thank you very much.